Hey there, fellow radicalist, or people who just clicked on this video because they thought it was about aliens and pyramids. No judgment, we're all curious. Today we're diving into the wild, sandy world of ancient Egypt, land of pharaohs, hieroglyphs, and way too many cats. Seriously, cats were like the prime Megan Fox of ancient Egypt. But before we get lost in feline fame, let's break down what made Egyptian civilization so epic. Spoiler alert, it's way more than just pointy triangles in the desert. First off, let's talk about the real star of the show. No, it's not Cleopatra or that gold mask guy. King Tut for you trivia folks. It's the Nile River. The Nile was basically the ancient Egyptian version of Amazon Prime, delivering fresh water, fertile soil, and a yearly flood that was better than any sale they could offer. And unlike modern Amazon, the Nile didn't lose your packages. The floods kept their crops growing, which meant bread, beer, and enough papyrus scrolls to keep ancient scribes busy writing "you up" texts in hieroglyphics. No Nile, no Egypt, plain and simple. Now, let's talk about the Egyptian rulers, aka the pharaohs, aka the original influencers. These folks didn't need Instagram. They had massive temples, statues, and the occasional pyramid to show off their power. Pharaohs were like walking gods. Think of them as the Show Speed during his world tour of their time, but with less reality TV and more divine right to rule. They didn't just lead their people, they were also in charge of keeping the gods happy. And let me tell you, ancient Egyptian gods were not low maintenance. I mean, they had a god for everything. Ra, the sun god, Anubis, the god of embalming, and even Bastet, the cat goddess. See, I told you cats were a big deal. If the pharaoh messed up, boom, the gods were not pleased, and that's when things got, well, cursed. Ah, the pyramids. If you've heard one thing about Egypt, it's probably this. They built the pyramids, but do you know why? Spoiler alert, it wasn't for storage. Pharaohs believed in life after death, and the pyramids were their way of securing VIP access to the afterlife. Think of them as the ultimate retirement plan. Inside, these bad boys were filled with treasures, food, and basically everything a pharaoh would need to live it up in the afterlife. It's like packing for the world's longest vacation. Oh, and let's not forget the mummies. You think taxidermy is weird? Try wrapping a king in linen and preserving him for eternity. And no, ancient Egyptians didn't walk around like extras from the Mummy movie, wrapped in bandages, scaring tourists. But they did take their mummification process seriously. I mean, they even had special priests for the job. Think of them as ancient funeral directors, but with way more incense. Now let's talk hieroglyphs, the ancient Egyptian writing system. Forget text messages, hieroglyphs were the original emojis, and boy did they get creative. Picture this, you're trying to tell your friend you're hungry, and instead of typing you draw a falcon, a loaf of bread, and a squiggly line. Boom, communication. Hieroglyphs weren't just for show though. Egyptians wrote everything down, from shopping lists to religious spells, and they did it all on papyrus. So next time you're doodling in class, just remember you're carrying on a 5,000-year-old tradition of writing nonsense on paper. Way to stay classy. Let's talk fashion. The Egyptians knew how to keep it cool, literally, in a desert climate. You'd think they'd be sweating buckets, but nope. They rocked linen like it was the hottest trend of 2024. They wore these lightweight kilts, and the fancier you were, the more bling you added. Imagine walking down the street with a golden cobra on your head. Yeah, that was an actual look. And don't forget the eyeliner. Both men and women wore it, not just because it looked fabulous, but also to protect their eyes from the sun. Ancient Egyptians, mastering fashion and functionality centuries before the rest of us. So, the next time someone mentions ancient Egypt, don't just think about pyramids and mummies. Think about the Nile, the pharaohs, their totally extra burial practices, and of course their love for cats. Lots and lots of cats. Thanks for joining me on this whirlwind tour through Egypt's golden sands. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, or, a hieroglyphic thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more historical deep dives with a twist of fun. See you next time.